Well, you didn't come to the school festival, so... Sunday evening. It's right about the time when one should be feeling a sense of loneliness in the air following the Hojo High School's festival's closing ceremonies ending without a hitch.
You barged in here just because of that?
Having taken a train ride that spanned 3 stations, I arrived at a certain person's house and pressed on the door phone. I was worried, all right. You were out cold from your high fever up until just 2 days ago, after all.
That was 3 days ago. I had mostly recovered by Thursday. A class representative like you really shouldn't make so many mistakes when it comes to trivialities.
Then allow me to fill you in on those trivialities. Starting from Thursday morning at 10 a.m., measured 2-hour intervals, your temperature readings were the following, Touma. 38.8 Celsius, 38.5 Celsius, 38.5 Celsius, 38.3 Celsius.
Well, I'm not a class rep, so there's no need for me to remember those.
Anyway, aren't you gonna let me in?
This is the home of a young girl living by herself, you know? Don't you have any common sense?
I've been inside every day for the past week, haven't I? Not to mention, I even slept over, too. Don't
say things like that while you're outside. What if weird rumors started spreading throughout the neighborhood?
Never mind the fact that the voice coming from the intercom is actually louder than mine. And here I went through the trouble of coming to visit this late. At least have some common courtesy and treat me to some tea, would you?
No one would treat a sudden, uninvited guest to tea. When you put it like that, you make it sound like Japanese culture is all twisted.
What's wrong, Touma? Did something happen? Why has she been acting so distant since yesterday? It should be impossible for her to know what's changed about me yet.
Did something happen, you ask? You mean to say that nothing happened with you, right?
What do you mean by that? She couldn't possibly know, right?
You're the same as ever, right, Kitihara? You don't have any strange misunderstandings, no wrong impressions, and you're still as plain as you've ever been, is what I'm asking.
I'm still me?
I see.
Honestly, I have no idea what Touma is trying to ask me. I guess she's hoping that I've stayed the same as I've always been. That I haven't changed even after that special day.
I'll make you some tea, but after that, just go home, okay?
I have no idea how she interpreted my reply, but for now, I'm just glad she's finally opened the proverbial heavenly door. I'm just glad she's finally opened the proverbial heavenly rock cave. Hey, what is it? That's the 6th spoonful of sugar, you know? A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way?
Same as ever, isn't it?
Is that so? I'm pretty sure it used to be 5 spoonfuls before. Not that much of a change in any case. Shouldn't it be oversaturated by now?
Yeah, it's hot. Be careful.
I'm sorry. Hold on. This is too thin. Don't mean to sound clever, but frankly, this is just plain steaming hot black water.
Why are you here? Why did you come over to my place so soon after yesterday?
I told you before. I was worried your cold might have returned.
Well, now you know for sure, right? I'm perfectly healthy, so hurry up and go home.
I need to talk to you about something.
You said that you'd only have tea, didn't you? That's cheating.
Oh, I did say that, but come on. Let's just stop this pointless argument. Our conversation isn't progressing. It's different from the way we trade mutual insults while still being able to slowly but surely grasp the other's intentions regardless. Up until last night. Is it because I've changed? But there's just no way, right? I'm doing everything I can not to be self-conscious about it after all. Even if things turn awkward between us later because of this, that really shouldn't be the case right now.
Well, wait. Before you start talking, I just need to ask you one thing.
Sure. What is it? Perhaps, and in a number of ways, she regrets and feels cornered by how open she was with me before.
I'm pretty sure this is not the case, but you're not the type to tell lies and tease others on purpose in order to gauge their reaction, right?
Huh?
Why aren't you answering? Are you really that kind of guy after all, Kitihara? Then the real reason you're here today must be...
No, I hope I never become that kind of person. It's true that I'm hesitating on giving an answer, but it's not because it was right on the mark. Always be sincere to others, without telling lies, and hiding any secrets is my ideal. Are you okay with that answer? It's just that I couldn't figure out what Touma's intentions are, or what she's trying to ask. So I was trying to think of a generic enough response.
Then, next question.
Touma, you said you needed to ask me one thing.
That's your fault for not giving me the kind of answer I wanted.
My answer was perfectly fine, wasn't it? It's your question that was flawed.
Even so, please answer another question for me.
Alright, I will. It seems like this time both of us have realized that this argument is pointless.
Your reason for coming here today, Kitihara, is there something that you want to tell me? Or perhaps you have something you want to ask me?
It's about me. I want you to hear me out, Touma.
I see.
This is my own decision. That means I'm not here because I want to hear Touma's opinion. Rather, nothing will change if I hear her opinion. I can't let my current feelings be swayed by anything other than my own will right now.
Fine then. Feel free to say whatever you want to. I'll listen to it if I feel like it.
That attitude of yours isn't making things easier for me. I don't know what Touma was afraid I was going to ask her, but it looks like she's not worried about it anymore. She's visibly completely relaxed, even though I'm still so nervous. Contrary to my words, I've been tense for a while now. Well, I perfected my poker face a long time ago, so there's no need to worry.
By the way, how was the school festival today? It's the last day, right?
Yeah, it was fun. Not to mention, even after telling me to say whatever I want, she starts up the conversation again. I swung by the classroom in the morning. Then, from the afternoon, I just kinda strolled around campus. I even participated in the evening festival.
I swear, I'm amazed you can even enjoy that infantile festival.
Is that what someone who was totally fired up yesterday should be saying?
I wasn't, really.
There was an announcement for Miss Hojo at the festival's closing ceremony.
I bet that Ogiso won by a landslide, right? Ever since we enrolled, she's been uncontested.
Well, you're right, but Chikashi brought up the topic of how much of a lead Setsuna would have over the other contestants. She completely dominated the ranking, just as he predicted. Out of all the valid votes, 683 in total, 402 went to her. With the majority over 60%, Setsuna won spectacularly for the third time in a row, uncontested. After hearing the announcement, Setsuna smiled wryly, unable to hold it in. But still, the most interesting thing about this year's election were definitely the invalid votes.
Oh? Since her victory was already assured, a bunch of people decided to just mess around with it, huh?
Might be true.
What's so funny?
Votes were for the keyboardist girl from day 2, the third-year saxophonist girl, the girl that was in Ogiso Setsuna's band, the girl who played a bunch of instruments, the bassist with the straight long hair, that girl who played White Album in a black outfit, Touma from Class 3E, Touma-senpai, Touma Kazusa. There were a total of 59 of those invalid votes. If they had been valid, it would have been enough for 5th place, Chikashi told me after the official announcement. Since there were no actual check marks on the voting slip, everyone came up with a unique way to vote. It caused some trouble for the people who had to count the votes, but it was great fun at the same time. Congratulations, Touma.
That has nothing to do with me.
With this, your greatness will be well known within the school. My ambitions have been fulfilled.
I said I don't care about it at all. You can celebrate it yourself.
Not caring if Touma wants me to or not. Yep, let me do just that. Here, cheers. As I say that, I lift up my cup and finish the tasteless, cooled down, and now barely drinkable liquid as if it were fine wine. Whatever. Touma doesn't join me, of course. If you're recovered, you should come, Touma. Setsuna and I called you a bunch of times, you know?
I'd prefer not to be in the middle of such an awkward atmosphere.
As I put my cup down, as if timing it intentionally, she takes her own cup and tilts it.
And if I joined in, I would have just been a bother.
And she continues to tilt her cup, waiting for the thick sugar on the bottom to come together.
I mean, you were with Ogiso, right?
Yeah, we went to check out the university festival together in the afternoon. I can't read Touma's expression, hidden behind her cup.
You ate takoyaki and candy apples together, right?
Well, we had crepes and ramen too. I can only see her shoulders shuddering every now and then.
Did you dance with her by the bonfire?
Yeah. That's how I know that she's carefully listening to me.
Then, after parting with a kiss, you came here, did you?
And right now, as I nod to reply to the person right in front of me, Touma came into my view before I knew it. I confessed to Setsuna. That took so long. The lead up took too long to get through. And Setsuna, I still can't believe it, but she gave me the okay. But I finally said it. Even though it was awfully hard to say. And even though I'm still feeling awfully unpleasant, I can't even think anymore. For a moment, my throat went dry. So I had to clench my teeth and force my voice to come out. What I'm trying to say is, well, I've started dating Setsuna. But even so, I won't lie to anyone. I'll keep being sincere to everyone. Just like I promised I would a moment ago. Setsuna? Yeah, I'm outside Touma's house. I'm heading home right now. Huh? What is it? You're too quiet. I can't hear you. Incidentally, if you keep crying, I won't be able to understand you any better. Yeah. Like I said, it was just your imagination, Setsuna. There's no way Touma would react like that. Of course! It'll be just like always. Nothing will change. The three of us will stay the same. And if you believe that, I have some marshland in Florida to sell you.
Is that all?
I wanted you to be the first one to know, Touma.
But it has nothing to do with me.
No, it has everything to do with you.
How do you even come to that conclusion? You and Ogiso are both way too self-conscious.
Just yesterday, I said that I wanted the three of us to always stay together.
You did? I guess I just wasn't that interested, so I don't remember that.
I still believe I wasn't lying back then. Although you could say that what I said and what I did was contradictory. And I won't try to argue that.
There's no need for you to selfishly bring up and apologize something I've already forgotten.
The thing is, I don't want there to be any secret between the three of us. Do you find it unpleasant? It's unforgivable, isn't it?
Why would it be? Why would I feel that way just because you're dating Ogiso, Kitihara?
Your two friends would be leaving you out, spending more time with each other.
That's only normal, isn't it, Kitihara? Your feelings for the two of us are different after all.
That's not...
It is simple, really. It was bound to happen from the very beginning. Leaving Ogiso's poor taste aside for the moment.
Hey, Touma.
I'm telling you, it's alright already.
Setsuna, you and me, can we stay together, Touma?
I never thought of myself as a friend of yours to begin with, though.
Touma!
There's no reason for us to separate. All that means nothing to me. I told you before, didn't I? It's just a matter of two people who are completely unlike me hooking up with each other in a place where I wasn't present. There's no harm done, really.
Yeah. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow then. I'll head there around 10 o'clock. See ya. Good night, Setsuna. In the end, Setsuna was still half crying, even though I hung up. Though I told her there's obviously no way Touma would see me as anything other than a friend, Setsuna wouldn't believe me, no matter what I said. She wouldn't believe me, even though I'm her boyfriend. Well, nothing I can do about that, I guess. It's only the second day since we've started dating anyway. From now on, our bonds will be deeper and become stronger, without a doubt. But, man, I'm the famous Ogiso Setsuna's boyfriend. Huh. There's probably no one in the school, myself from 2 days ago included, that could have imagined this would happen. Oh shit! I got so caught up in thinking about the sudden turn of events that I barely noticed the train was closing in on the platform. After sliding my phone into my pocket, I take out my commuter pass and settle back into reality as I push my way through the crowd. That's why. Right here and now, I will give up on that alternative, impossible reverie from the past.
Hey, I'm freezing, you know?
It's almost December after all.
That's not really what I meant when I said that.
This is...
You were the one who called me all the way up here. So, how long are you...
This is where I first heard you two play. The breeze was still warm back then. That's why both of you and Haruki-kun's overlapping melodies sounded pleasantly warm too, Touma-san.
Ah, I see.
It felt so wonderful listening to you two, and I noticed it all felt like I was inside a karaoke room.
I don't feel any praise whatsoever from the metaphor that you just made.
Before I knew it, I found myself immersed along with the two of you. You know how the rest of the story goes, right, Touma-san? Touma-san,
It's all your fault for being deceived by Kitihara's stupidity and carelessly joining the club, Ogiso. If you hadn't gone along with him, I wouldn't have been roped into that ridiculous game either. And here I thought I could have spent my second term peacefully and uneventfully.
Did you hate it?
Yeah, I hated it from the bottom of my heart. Be it Kitihara's persistence or your forcefulness, Ogiso. All I wanted to do was ask you guys to give me my peaceful, everyday life back.
I suppose you're right. I guess it would have been better if I hadn't joined the club.
I swear, this is why sheltered people are.
Then Touma-san could have slowly gotten closer to Haruki-kun, deepening your bond step by step.
Huh?
But an outsider like me suddenly barged in, meddling with things between the two of you, provoking you, Touma-san, and seething with jealousy, seeing the two of you together.
It looks like there are all sorts of huge misunderstandings here.
And after doing all those selfish things, I even began to fall in love with Haruki-kun myself.
I'd say the greatest reason for that is because you don't have an eye for decent men, Ogiso.
I don't care what anyone else says. I don't plan to make them understand my values either. My love isn't so weak that it would be influenced by what others say.
The two of you are really so passionate about your own values, huh? In a way, I guess the two of you might really make a good match.
Still, I believe that you alone share these values with me, Touma-san.
Even in the way you don't listen to what other people are saying?
It's useless. No matter how much you try to deny it, this is the one thing that will never change.
I give up. What's so good about him anyway?
Well, Touma-san, what is it about Kitihara that you don't like?
Let's see. He's meticulous but sloppy, has good grades while being an idiot, and alternates between being somewhat useful and utterly useless.
Even though it all sounds contradictory, he strikes a nice balance, doesn't he?
He's persistent, annoying, forces his own values on others, brazen, self-righteous, and a hypocrite who only cares about his own image.
And that's what's so good about him, right? For both you and me, Touma-san.
You're not even listening, huh? Well, I'll pray that your love doesn't grow old in a month. Are you really okay with this? Like I said, with what?
I've taken Haruki-kun away, you know? You won't be able to have him for yourself, Touma-san, you know?
Come on, misunderstand this any further, and you're only going to make things more embarrassing, you know? I'm warning you, as a friend.
Touma-san.
It doesn't matter if I'm okay with it or not. It's what you and Kitihara decided. You just declared that you don't care what anyone else says, right?
You're not just anyone, Touma-san.
Then, I'll tell you one last thing as a friend. Kitihara is not a good match for you at all, Ogiso. But there's nothing I can do about your poor taste in men. After all, you keep insisting that you want him, and you won't listen to what anyone else says.
Then, what can you tell me from your personal perspective as Touma Kazusa?
Why do you two seem to misunderstand everything so much? You're just made for each other, I swear.
Because I know all about it. I've known about it all along.
I don't know what it is that you think you know, but I'll tell you one more time. I've accepted both of my friends' promises. Anything more would be a pain, so I'll give you my blessings as well. Ever since you appeared, Ogiso, my own pace has been completely thrown off. I really can't see myself caring about Kitihara anymore.
That's just a lie, isn't it?
Right now, if I had to choose, I'd say you're the more interesting of the two, Ogiso, so it's fine, right?
Touma-san, I'm telling you, I knew all about it. Back then, Touma-san, you were...
That's wrong, Setsuna. It's Kazusa.
Eh?
Or are you telling me that little thing had a time limit?
You can call me Setsuna. It's fine.
I don't mind misunderstanding dummies like you, Setsuna. Girls are cuter that way, after all. That's why this conversation is finished. Having to worry about the likes of Kitihara is just irritating too.
Let's just carry on with everything. Carry on like we've always done up until now.
I guess there's one thing that's different now, though. Wouldn't you say so, Setsuna?
Kazusa!
I suppose it is nice to have at least someone call me that. That's the first time anyone has since I came here 3 years ago. Whoa, though I suppose it's a problem if you get too familiar all of a sudden. Don't cry just because you've got a boyfriend now. Well, I suppose it's not very convincing coming from someone who doesn't have one, is it?
Kazusa! Yeah, if only you were a boy, Kazusa!
I wonder what would have happened if that were the case.
Then I think I would probably become a horrible girl and fallen in love with both of you and Haruki-kun, Kazusa.
I suppose that would have been a bloodbath in its own right as well.
December's arrived. The roadside trees have lost their leaves, and instead, a large evergreen tree has been propped up in front of the station for the upcoming holiday. Both are telltale signs of the approaching winter season. The school festival, the final bright event in our school life, has ended. All that we third years can do now is to think back fondly on it in the following 4 months of our gray lives. However, since our school is tied to a university, Most students have their paths ahead already decided for them, leaving less than half of them to lead truly gray lives. This includes the ones who had decided on other universities, be it because they're overachievers or underachievers, and the ones who have decided to go straight into employment. Take them away, and the leftover number of students would be in the triple digits. We ourselves belong to the minority, and we've been spending our days with fierce yet seemingly hopeless battles. Hey, no sleeping. You haven't even solved a single problem yet.
Ouch! Hitting a girl's head? Seriously? How behind the times can you be, you stupid boomer?
At least try to pretend you're thinking about it.
This kotatsu is to blame. It has the power to take away anyone's ability to think straight from the feet up.
Fine. Let's review from the beginning then. What's the name of the subject you're trying to study right now? Quite literally, days filled with hopeless battles. Primarily on the teacher's part. Once again, December's arrived. And as announced far in advance, the finals will be starting tomorrow, marking a slightly unpleasant increase in business in our final days at school.
Geography, and it's boring.
Then why did you pick this?
I thought it'd have fewer parts to memorize compared to history at least. Though, in the end, I haven't really memorized anything, so there's really no difference.
I'd hate to say this, but you've made the right choice in that regard. Look, you definitely need to pass this one on the finals, so that you can save your energy for studying for other subjects for the remedial exams.
Already talking about the remedial exams even before the final exams themselves, huh?
There's not nearly enough time for you to cover all of the subjects, you know? And don't even think there'll be any more time for naps either.
Maybe I should just quit school after all.
With how rich your family is, you could probably get by just fine, even as a jobless NEET. Be that as it may, though, I see no reason for society to have to support another leech.
Those are some pretty nasty remarks for a self-proclaimed friend of mine to be saying.
And I'm saying them precisely because I am your friend. Alright then, first question.
Great work, everyone! Would you like to take a short break?
Yeah, I've been working pretty hard for a while.
Setsuna, go back to the living room and take that with you. Right now. And at this pace, we'll be here until dawn.
He's got you now, Kazusa!
After setting the platter with our coffee cups and cookies down on the table, Setsuna shuffles into the seat on my left.
Setsuna, your boyfriend is a creep. He's just scum. A genuine a-hole who takes pleasure in watching a girl suffer.
Ogiso then searches for my hand inside the kotatsu and squeezes it tightly upon finding it. Just so you know, if you think that I'll just say have it your own way and let you do whatever you want, you're gravely mistaken. If anything, it's more likely that I'll give you even more work out of anger.
I don't think he's joking there. I'm speaking from experience.
Entwining all of her fingers with mine. She then presses her palm against mine, applying an ever so slight amount of pressure. In any case, I'll be having the coffee. It'd be a shame if it got cold.
Sure, but do you really need the maple syrup? The donuts are already filled with whipped cream.
And 1, 2, 3. After counting 3 seconds, she slowly releases my hand and withdraws. This is how they do it in Canada. Yeah.
Is that so?
Don't believe the sugar freak so easily, Setsuna. As a Canadian, yeah, some people do put maple syrup in their coffee. I don't, but I don't drink coffee in the first place, so Yeah. When we're with Touma, we shouldn't be acting the same as we normally would if we were alone. At the same time, however, we also can't afford to act too distant, since doing that could make Touma feel overly conscious about us. For the sake of Kazusa and Setsuna's friendship, we acted on this 3-second rule after a discussion. This might be getting a bit repetitive by now, but December's arrived. It's been 2 weeks since Setsuna and I started dating.
Here, look at this! A one-night stay at an open-air hot spring with 2 meals included for 9,500 yen!
And check it out! That's the price during winter break!
On Christmas.
In this day and age?
Is there something weird about that?
Ultimately, we ended up taking a break before we could even start studying properly.
Let's go see the snow!
Saying this, Setsuna pulled out a pamphlet for an old-looking inn before us.
One of my mom's cousins runs this place. That's why we still can make a quick reservation even though Christmas is so close.
Isn't that actually a bad thing?
A hot springs inn, deep within northern Kanto mountains. Looks like Setsuna's relatives have put down roots all over the country. Well, not like that's a bad thing. You really think about going skiing when visiting a place with a lot of snow, right? There aren't any ski slopes near Hakuga Hot Springs, though, are there?
Well, I don't really know how to ski, so...
If you don't know how, you could have Kitihara give you an intimate, in-depth lesson. Didn't the idea cross your mind?
I think relaxing in a bath and chatting with everyone in the room would be more fun. Then, afterward, we could build a snowman and have a snowball fight.
Are you okay with this, Kitihara? She's the school idol first, and your girlfriend second, you know?
Don't push this onto me. Oh, it's true I don't exactly have any complaints. Still, had Setsuna acted like the school idol she seemed to be, there would probably never have been a good opportunity for me to meet her, nor would I have had the chance to come to fall for her this much.
This is painful to watch.
You're in on this too, you know? Let's go on a 3-person trip together was the plan. Seems like my thoughts were written all over my face. Yeah, I can see how that would have been painful to look at.
That's right, Kazusa. You'll definitely come along, right? Besides, my dad won't permit us to go if you're not with us.
So, your father thinks I'd be a suitable chaperone for you two, basically?
We don't need a chaperone to begin with. We only need someone to convince him.
That's bold of you, Kitihara. Wait, no. In this case, you're being pretty cowardly, aren't you?
Hey, this is good, right? Let's go with this one. It's cheap, and it's great value, too.
Money is the least of our worries anyway. If we run short, we can just withdraw some more.
If I ask my parents, I'll get as much as I need. I'm normally pretty straight-laced, so they won't ask what I'll need the money for.
Oh, you two are such bourgeoisie.
Our families are in shambles, though.
There's no issue as long as the people concerned don't mind it, unlike a certain other person's messy family.
What's that?
Come on, you started it. Wait, don't glare at me like that. You're scaring me. I'm still unsure where the fine line between seriousness and joking is on this matter.
Jeez, leaving all of that aside, we're going to the hot springs. It's settled. We'll be leaving as soon as winter break starts.
Then again, we have remedial exams to worry about at this rate. It would be nice if those were dealt with before winter break.
Kazusa, give it your absolute best, alright?
Why am I the only one who's expected to need to work hard? This is so ridiculous.
You're the only one who hasn't worked hard until now, so don't you dare start complaining. I've mentioned this numerous times already, but the finals start tomorrow. I'll be back in a moment. Setsuna, keep an eye on Touma. Don't let her run away. Got it?
Yes, sir.
I'm being treated like some kind of prisoner.
Haruki is worried about you, Kazusa. More than about anyone else. Even more than me.
Even so, this treatment is just outrageous. No meals or breaks from dawn till dusk.
I seem to remember there being 2 meals and 3 breaks.
And he made me do 5 sets of practice problems. He's so persistent.
Well, Kazusa, you haven't even solved half of your problems. Haruki has solved at least 80% himself, see?
Well, there's no helping that. Just like you two said, I've been doing nothing but slacking off until now.
Even today, it seems like Haruki-kun's putting in all the effort, isn't it? And you're the one that's supposed to be studying.
Like I said, you can't compare me to a guy who has been studying something on a daily basis.
He chose Japanese history as his social studies subject. He hasn't even touched geography until now, you know.
Huh?
Have you ever seen Haruki in any of your elective classes?
Well, no.
He pulled 2 all-nighters in a row to prepare himself to tutor you, you know? He's also been hanging up on our calls pretty early recently.
Oh.
While you've been doing your best on your exam tomorrow, Haruki will probably be paying the price for not being able to study enough in the classroom next door, you know? The Japanese history exam takes place at the same time.
Wipe that smug grin off your face.
But, Kazusa, you look like you were about to cry.
Did not. I was just exasperated.
Oh, really now?
In the first place, are you really that happy about your boyfriend's needless meddling? It's not like he's doing anything for you.
Yep, it makes me feel really happy. It may not be for me, but it's for all of us.
Okay, I see. Isn't that nice? This really is just painful.
Kazusa, aren't you happy?
I'm not used to unconditional acts of kindness. Every now and then, I get skeptical about all of this. What? Did I say something strange?
Wasn't it you who performed such an act first, Kazusa?
Huh?
Haruki-kun believes that he's so indebted to you that he'll never be able to repay you for all his life.
What do you mean?
The fact that you rescued the club, the fact that you brought the 3 of us together, and also that you composed the 3rd song.
All of that is just as much thanks to you, Setsuna.
And how you mentored him during the summer break as well. Haruki-kun thinks of you like a goddess, Kazusa.
So he even told you about that.
That's why, even though it might feel like he's being pushy like always, Haruki-kun's feelings are still...
I don't remember ever forcing any debt on him.
Eh?
I don't want him to think of it as a debt. I did all of that for my own sake. It'll be a problem for me if he feels indebted for it on his own and tries to repay me. Besides, it was something I wanted. Fine. I just need to accept this gratitude, right? Don't start tearing up on me again.
I hope we keep getting along, Kazusa.
I swear, you're such a...
Sorry for taking so
You're
long.
late.
Sorry? I'm not sure what exactly is going on here, but the moment I came back from the bathroom, Kazusa looked at me as if I were the bastard who killed her parents. She then started asking me questions with a terrifying look on her face. I don't think that's quite the attitude you should be taking with your tutor. Thanks for watching. Like if you like, subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment if you have something to say. I think a lot of drama in this novel could be avoided with a throuple. All three involved seem like they are attracted to each other, at least a little bit. Setsuna did say she would have a hard time deciding between a male Kazusa and Haruki. That implies some attraction, right? Oh, I have been told I wouldn't know sexual attraction if it sat on my face, so I could be way off base here. But Setsuna and Kazusa were getting a little intimate during the hot springs, and so much that Haruki was embarrassed and looked away. Of course, if everything could be resolved that easily, we wouldn't have a novel. I'm just saying this could be a solution, but it probably isn't.